Welcome to Power Play. I'm Rick Budd, your game master, and I am really delighted to be here this Sunday with these fine people that you see before us. It was a tense, long week for everybody. First, let me. So we have with us as Dr. Caden Dialto, Sam DeLev. Thank you. And as Benny Beckett, Caitlin Bruder. And we have B. Zelda as Ula's Gal. And Omar Najam as Vion Vigor. How y'all doing on this Sunday?
Better.
Yeah. Am I supposed to have feelings yet? Like, is that an expectation people have of me in the year of our Porg 2020?
I'm very happy to be on the show with you all today. I was like, this is how I'm going to experience emotions.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Right, I'm experiencing someone else's.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
It's a good stepping stone back into, full emotional capacity.
Yes. Yes, stepping stones.
There was a long night that I thought I was not getting a show together this week. But we did it, and I'm really happy to be here. So first, throw a special thanks out to Jake, Kyle, and everyone at QueueTimes for making this possible. Thank you, Jake. In fact, your subs and your bits help support QueueTimes, and your donations to the tip jar that you see there help support these people. It's kind of the Feed the Cast fund. And to that end...
feed my pupper. Really, my money from this kind of stuff goes to pupper.
Yeah,
just direct
dog and a cat.
Stream to pupper pipeline.
Like, we want Sam to eat, but we really want Sam's pupper to eat.
Money to dog food.
We have so to that end we have some rewards, and here's how the rewards work tonight. Pretty much the same way they always do. The $50 tier is a point of community determination. The team has 1 point of community determination banked right now. Nobody has a lot of determination, so it's pretty valuable. There's that. And if we get to hang on, sorry, gotta look at the thing real quick. Oh, we already hit the 50. Whoa, wow! So you already got the point of determination. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, wow, thank you. You've been incredibly generous with us all season. We are super grateful for that. So the $150 tier is the mysterious benefactor. In game, our team has a mysterious benefactor who sends them gifts that are useful to varying degrees. And we know outside of the game that benefactor is the chat. And this week, chat can provide the team with a rebreather. It's like you've seen James Bond movies. He's got that little thing that he bites on when he jumps into the water, and it gives him 5 minutes of air. And it's or like you go into a room full of toxic gas. It gives you So the way the rebreather works for us. Is. Are we getting an echo problem?
Yeah, chat's been talking about that. There's some bad reverb on the audio right now.
I think that's not something we can resolve with our superpowers. However, the person behind the cameras might have that ability.
I should be able to.
Truly,
Yes.
Dr. Caden.
If there's anyone who can do it.
I think my powers make it worse. Yes.
Maybe.
I believe I will cause problems on purpose.
Oh, okay. Please do not touch the technology.
As is your right.
I'm seeing it's better now. So, great. Yeah, so the rebreather is the mysterious benefactor gift. And so far, the team has received a suit of leather armor that is +1 resistance, 3 smoke bombs, which are -2 to sight-based tasks. They have 2 left. A gas-powered grappling hook that is 70 feet long, about 5 stories, and a metal baton for Caden that is level 5. And the rebreather, the way it works in this game is like if you are underwater or in a place that is oxygen deprived, you have to make a strength roll on every page to see how it affects your stamina. The rebreather gives you 5 rounds, essentially 5 pages, without having to make that strength roll. So essentially, you're fine, and you got one of them. And then of course at $250 we have the after credits lore drop, and that is one of my favorite things to do. We have a cool one for tonight, so please. And that's it. You can always see those tiers in chat with the command unlocks. And if you can't help out, by throwing into the tip jar, you can help out by liking and commenting on our YouTube videos, or sharing our tweets and helping us promote the show. We really appreciate all that stuff, and we really appreciate all the fan art that's been coming in. It's
Hopper.
So cute.
the Sentinel. Oh my God, Lemon Twist drew the Sentinel. It was adorable. The Curtis Haber's pug. So that's that. The game we play is called Icons. It's published by Ad Infinitum, created by Steve Kenson. The book I have is published by Green Ronin, but they're sold out now. You can get it as a PDF, but I don't know when they're getting hardcovers again. We have our own kind of hack of the game. We gave some details on that back in game 1 if you want to find out about it. Or you can, tweet at me if you got questions about the rules or the game or the continuity. I am on Twitter. I am rbud913. Or there is a room in the QueueTimes Discord where you can register for a role and press the little superhero guy button. And I'm looking for questions there too when they come up. And that's it. I think those are all the announcements. So yeah, please follow PowerPlay RPG on Twitter and Instagram. And that's it. Time for PowerPlay. We're back. Man, I just never get over that song. All right. So previously on PowerPlay, a low-level organized crime henchman named Curtis Haber absorbed Caden's power to control harmonic resonance and started an earthquake that shook all of Baronsdale. The team spent a day or so tracking him, and eventually they got his address from the mind reader Bella Murata. In the meantime, Caden learned that they were on thin ice at the hospital. Benny accidentally showed off her power in front of her boss, Dino Mink. Vion made the papers in connection with a big arrest. And Ulez saved the team's friend Sandy Karpa from an unidentified pair of identical twin goons. Once they were back on mission, the team went to Haber's apartment where Vion was shot with an arrow after he triggered a booby trap. Haber arrived and caught it was a really high-level booby trap, but Haber arrived and caught the team at his place. There was a fight, and Ulez and Caden teamed up to deliver a serious beatdown to the criminal. Once he was beaten, the team questioned Haber and learned that he had received his powers after being zapped by a strange energy that had exploded out of the back of the truck he was driving after it was attacked. Haber didn't know who it was that attacked the truck. Haber didn't know who it was that attacked and later stole the truck, but he suspected it may have something to do with something called Cluster, a name our team had heard before. But before they could learn anything else, Haber used mind reading power that he had absorbed from Bella Murata to put them all to sleep. And that is where we pick up. So you have all been zapped with this power before by Bella. But the sleep you experience this time is much, much deeper. Curtis Haber has a power, seems to jack up the effectiveness of the powers he steals, and you all fall very deeply into a sleep that is so deep it is peaceful, whether you like it or not. And in this peaceful sleep, you dream of pleasant memories this time. And I'm going to ask you to talk a little bit about those memories. So let's start with Caden. Caden, you're not really used to sleeping at all, and you're not used to dreaming, but this is just too powerful to resist even for you. So tell us, Sam, what does Caden see?
We're on the starship with my fellow knights, the Knights of the Blue. It's been 3 days into the mission. We haven't landed yet on that moon. We've just been watching, waiting. It turns out a lot of this kind of work is hurry up and wait. But the Knights are actually surprisingly good at having a good time, or at least what I see is Sonnefel and Torfin coming out of the airlock, blood streaking from their face, smiles pasted across both of them, and Sonnefel handing me his wraps, chucking his head over to the squire and saying, "It's my turn." And I put on wraps and go into the airlock. We put on some enviro gear. We vacuum out the airlock so none of us can use our voice. It's just an old-fashioned combat, and just outside the airlocked window of the Fury, I can see the knights cheering. One of them has a slap patch, drunk as Willikers, patched as Willikers for us, and are probably shouting, hollering, hooting, but I can't hear it. It's just the fight in front of me. And I put my fists up. And we brawl.
That's great. And yeah, and that brawl just sort of seems to go on forever and for a moment. And while you are lost in that dream, Benny is lost in her own dream. Caitlin, tell us a little bit. What is Benny seeing?
So it's late summer. The part of the year where like the humidity is finally broken and it's like the heat is like nice instead of overwhelming. It's later in the day, kind of like evening before sunset kind of starts. And I'm sitting at the dining room table. The old one, not the new one that I'm going to wreck in a few months when we get it. The window is open. There's that like fresh air feeling. The way that like a farm smells like green. There's a smell of like green and soil, kind of in the fall, like around harvest time. I'm around the same age as a lot of the other moments that Bella made me remember, 10 or 11ish. And I'm sitting at the table, my chin in my hands, and I'm kind of frowning down at what looks like a pile of like dark Polaroids and like Express developed disposable camera photos. All of them are totally black. They've got like weird smears of light on them, just like dozens of these just blank photographs. Lola, my mom, just got back from getting groceries a little while ago, and she handed me this envelope full of my photos and has been watching me pout while she puts things away in the like adjoining kitchen. I burn out easily at this age. I go too fast. And I fall very hard, and this pout kind of has the potential for quitting, and my mom knows this, so Lola's been trying to tell me that I should just wait till Eileen gets back in from the shed because she's better at technology stuff, and maybe she can help me figure this out instead of me, just doing stuff by myself. My moms have always been good at, slowing me down, for better or for worse. As a kid, I really needed it, though. I needed to slow down. So when Eileen comes back in, we look through the manuals for both of my cameras. We pull out the couple of books that I have about photography that I've either been gifted or ended up like having to keep because they got scorched. They were from the library and we couldn't return those. And so we try to learn a little bit more about, like how cameras works while Lola makes dinner. And then, we plan. And Eileen's like, okay, little director, like now that you have this information, like, more about exposure and like light diffusion, like what does that mean for the stars when it's dark out? Like, what do you want to do? So that night after dinner, like after the sun goes all the way down, me and my mom's put on work boots, we put on our sweaters, and we turn off all the lights in the house. We turn off all the lights on the property, and we take a long walk out to the middle of one of the fields. The field is wheat this year, so it's short, and we can all sit down in one of like the aisles between everything. And my mom sets up like a crate that she carried up to help like stabilize my little cameras. And we sit out in the dark and we popcorn that Lola made, and we watch the stars come out. And we take photos on a little instant camera that we'll kind of only get to see once we, go back into the house, and on a disposable that we won't get to see for a couple of days. And we hang out until it's too chilly and our noses start running. And that is how I take my first photo of the stars. It's not perfect. These cameras aren't high quality by any means. Like the little pinpricks of light are not as sharp as they could be, but every photo we take that night has stars in it.
Oh my God, that's great. And that was the first time you took photos of the stars, but definitely not the last. And all those memories start to blend in those dreams. And while that is going on, Ulez Cali, if you are ready over there, why don't you tell us now? You don't have a lot of memories so far. So your memory programming has prevented you from really knowing much about your life. You had a couple of visions from what Bella did to you the first time. So this is all kind of revelatory even to you. You don't even know these memories. And so tell us, B, what does Ulez see?
The first thing that comes to their mind is the sight of starlight. The backdrop of complete darkness, speckled with tiny lights, is really the first thing that comes to their mind when they close their eyes. And it makes them think of traveling and how they have traveled for their entire life. They have a sense of being on a massive ship, as a point of relation, like a generation ship. But there is not a single organic form aboard. We are all one. We all think as one. We all are. And we are all together. We all see everything at once. We all feel everything at once. There is not a lot of use for regular conversation. We communicate with electricity and gestures and body language. We are watchers. We've never had a reason to truly talk until there is one who could not help but express their joy at what they saw. They were not broken. We do not believe in anything being broken. We are one, therefore we are perfect. We sometimes just need to examine the parts of ourself that do not fit the mold. And Ulez remembers the first time they felt alone. Sure, it was a spark of sadness, but there was such a spark of joy in that. Not being always connected to everybody, there's a sense of loneliness, like when you look back out into that star-speckled sky on the outside of their ship. All of those stars are together, but there has to be one that's just a little bit more alone. And to Ulez, that makes them so incredibly special.
My God, wow. No, that's awesome. I love all this. Yeah, no, it's like everyone fits together like puzzle. So it's like, so you are having that dream. You are all locked in those dreams as you describe. And Benny, you start to feel this vibrating, shaking, and suddenly you are kind of you come back to awakeness, and your eyes flutter open, and you are laying on the floor of Curtis Haber's apartment, and your phone is vibrating in your pocket.
Oh God, who's calling me?
Your phone, it is the number. It is your mom's.
What? Okay, well, if it was Dino, I would have ignored it. But before I answer, before it goes all the way to voicemail, are my friends okay?
Okay, you look around the room. You see Ulez and all, all three of your friends are still unconscious, and Vion, who, if you remember, was shot with the arrow,
Yeah.
is lying in a pool of his own blood. It is now. You can tell immediately that it is daylight
Oh
outside.
God.
You have been laying there for a long time, and Vion, like I said, yeah, has bled out a little.
Okay, so I'm gonna take off my jacket right away, and I'm gonna put pressure on his wound for the love of God, and then I'm gonna answer the phone. And like in my like cheek to shoulder. Hi, Mom. How's it going?
And it's your mom. Let's say Irene, and
Eileen.
she's Eileen. I'm sorry. And she says, "Well, hello. It's good to see that you're still alive."
Uh-huh. Why wouldn't I be? What? I'm like pressing down on.
There was a huge earthquake. I bet you everybody else in the city called their parents.
You are so right. I've been so busy. They let me do an interview, and I've been working a lot. Hi, how's it going? I'm fine.
How's it going? I told your mother that you must be alive because if you were dead, they would call us. But if you were alive, you would forget to.
That's good. Yeah.
So how was your birthday?
Oh, great. Oh, it's good. Mm-hmm.
And as you hear her talking on the phone, that those words start to penetrate into your dream and bring you back to awakeness as well. And you wake up and look around and see all the same things that I described to her.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Like on the phone.
So
Uh,
I wanted to talk about the holidays this year. Can we talk dates maybe? And
You know what? I'm gonna have to call you back. I'm working, and we are in the middle of some stuff. Kind of crisis mode. You know how it is. I'll call you back a little later. How's that?
yeah,
Then you
okay,
can have my full attention.
okay, yeah, but call us back.
I will. Okay. Bye. Love you. Bye. And then I'm gonna hang up and be like, "Hi, good morning."
why is our friend leaking?
Because he got shot with that bolt thing that we, got out of him, and now there's nothing holding the blood in. And since he's been unconscious, he couldn't do it. So now we have to do it for him, I guess. How's Kate? Can you see if you can get Caden awake?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I don't know I probably don't know any medical triage, but I'm just like, stop bleeding.
Well, we'll just give you credit for holding the jacket there, and
Okay. Yeah.
whatever that does, you're doing it.
Ooh.
Dr. Kanan, I do not want to touch you. Is there like a piece of paper or something in which I could fan them with?
I'll say sure. There's
Or any plant life that I would put in their face to awaken them? A fern?
you know what? Yes, sure. There's a fern. Why not?
Okay. Lots of foliage. Lots to tickle your nose.
Too much not to happen. Yeah. So, Caden, you are in your dream fighting when suddenly there's like a tickle on your nose and you try and scratch it, you can't do anything, and you try and scratch it, and suddenly you realize that the tickle is actually coming from outside of your dream, and it pulls you back to awakeness, where you see the same stuff.
Hello. Welcome back.
No. Bring them back.
I will try, but your assistance is required. Our friend is leaking, and they will disappear for good if your assistance is not utilized.
What? Oh.
Are you performing at regular standards?
This is a non-paradigmatic situation, and unusual responses would be expected.
Understood.
Of course. You're keeping pressure. Good.
Totally frantic.
Yes. I'm going to put my hand there, then you move yours away.
Okay.
Good. Next thing we need to do is we need to get transportation to Serona.
Okay. Can I? If he has keys, he probably took his car, I would assume. We can't take him on the subway. Should we call like a ambulance? I don't. Yes. Okay, I can do that. We'll call an ambulance.
Okay, you do that. What are you doing, Caden, right now?
There's really pressure is kind of what you have available to you in that. I would examine what I see of the blood, because there's a fair amount of pool, just to gauge whether it was full pierce. Obviously, I mean, I know it was an arrow or a bolt, and I don't remember if it went all the way through, and unlike a bullet, that I know there isn't anything in there except maybe some fragments I'll have to pick out later. So, but that would determine whether or not I need to apply pressure to both sides of the shoulder.
Okay, I'll tell you.
But it's there's so much you can do, and then you get to the OR, and then you can do significantly more.
Why don't you just make me an intellect roll and put on all your medical bonuses for this?
All +1, yes.
Well, okay. +1.
That is 7.
Oh, okay. So you feel like you're getting a handle on the situation. It doesn't look like he was pierced in the back. You apply pressure to the front. Benny is on the phone calling 911. And Dion, in your mind, you open your eyes and you find yourself in the desert of Death Valley. And this is not a dream, although you recognize this place. You have been here before. This is where you died. And you stand in the desert and it's very quiet. A little bit of wind sweeps past. And then on the horizon, a figure appears. Right, gets closer. It's a man on a horse. And then as he gets closer, even though the sun is at his back, through the glare, you recognize him. He is kind of an old West cowboy, a sheriff with a star pinned to his coat and a 6-gun at his side. And if I had to cast him with an actor, I would say I like Winston Duke for this. Winston Duke, with a cowboy hat.
Mhm.
And he pulls on the reins of the horse and hops off very easily. And he looks you dead in the eye and he says, you know, when I gave you that badge and sent you back, I really thought you would last a little longer than this.
Thanks, Sheriff. Thank you for that.
You know, Dion, sometimes I'm afraid that you don't really take all this very seriously. Like, it's a big joke to you. Like, everything is just a big joke to you. You didn't take things seriously when you were alive, and it got you killed. And now you're not taking things seriously when you're dead, and it's going to come back to bite you. You know, I seem to remember you took an oath. Say it again.
Sheriff, I've been doing exactly as you asked, and it was easy at first, but now I got superpower people running around, and game's changed a little bit. Sheriff, I'm out of my element, man.
Say the words again.
Be kind always.
And he climbs back on his horse and he looks down at you. Not everyone gets to come back, Vion. And if you die in your corporeal form, you lose your ghost form. And after that, I can't make any promises as to what happens. What we do is a serious business. You only get one warning. And he pulls on the reins and the horse gallops off. And as it disappears back into the sun and the sun kind of blinds you again, you wake up and find Caden holding onto your chest.
Hey,
Hello,
Doc.
Dion.
Ugh.
I'm glad you're awake. As I think you can tell, you were shot. We're working on getting you to the hospital where I'm going to take care of you. You're aware. That's good. Everything is going to be fine. All right?
Thanks.
Good.
How's everybody else? Everyone all right?
They are significantly less shot.
I have found a fern, and I will bring it back to your abode.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you do that.
Betty's gonna go wash her hands. It's probably covered in blood.
Please see if they have acetaminophen
Okay,
in there. Thank you.
I will search
Tylenol.
for painkillers. Yeah.
Okay, you go searching for painkillers. Is there anything else you feel like you would want to do at this apartment while you're waiting for this ambulance to come?
What is the pug doing? I know I'm that guy, but just I'm curious.
We are all wondering.
Oh yeah, I thought he might have taken it.
Yeah, like
It's
Curtis
possible, but like at a certain
Yeah.
point, you do think to look for the pug.
Who knows?
I realize there's like a bleeding shot guy, but also there's a pug.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, now the pug's not there. Like Curtis,
Mm.
the pug is gone. And I'll say is that the door of the apartment is left open.
Is there like an office or like a desk anywhere in this apartment? Like, clearly he had the safe in his room, but like, is there any other space that might just, I don't know, have like, not necessarily even important documents, but just like, what's this guy up to on a day to day?
No, yeah, steal his passport.
Tell you
though.
what,
Totally
make
important document. Love it.
make an intellect roll.
Oh boy, okay.
Oh man, I need a new. Okay,
Set of dice.
All right, don't have any of my
I need a new
dice.
set of dice. It's 2 1s on a row.
Oh, I rolled like 3 or 4 ones in a row, like 2 episodes ago. So I feel you. Let's see. Sealed my own fate there with that one. 4.
4 total.
Mhm.
Nah,
I rolled a 1 as well.
you look around, but you don't find anything other than this sort of regular stuff I described last week. The photographs,
Understandable.
the records, the movies, stuff like that. Um,
Do I find Tylenol?
you do find Tylenol.
Okay.
We'll give you that.
And or any like rubbing alcohol, because that's what I was tasked to go find last time I was looking around the house. And then I was encountered the person who actually lived here and yelled loudly at him for a while.
Yeah, and you find all the stuff that you're looking for, and
Okay.
Caden is able to, let's say, stabilize the
Triage just to help since I don't know how long we've been laying here.
and the ambulance arrives, and the paramedics start to load Vion in. Caden, you're going with?
Yes. Because I'll report the findings in the field on the way over, and I have privileges at the hospital that we are sending him to. And I make that clear to the EMTs. And then I let them do their job because they're better at EMTing.
Benny and Ulez, what are you up to?
I mean, do you want to take a cab?
What
feel
is
like-
that?
More direct transport than the underground one. Have you been on the subway?
I have not. That sounds brilliant. I've mostly been in a dumpster and then in Vion's abode. I witnessed a garden.
Work.
I was gonna say, I think you rode the subway last week, but
Yeah, I was like, I couldn't remember if we had or not.
yeah, that's how you got here. But don't worry.
Well, I feel like this is an emergency situation which would warrant a cab. So I think I'll get us a cab to the hospital. So I'll get me and Ulez there separately.
Okay. You grab a cab to the hospital. Ulez, you are still holding on to a rolled up hospital gown.
And a fern. Mm-hmm.
And
And some
yeah, we're
papers
in-
and documents. I got my hands
We're in the
full.
back of this cab. Ulez is just like behind the.
And you are on your way to the hospital. Are you going through that stuff now, or are you going to hold it for later?
How long of a drive do we have?
From where you are in, I think he was in the vault, over to Serrano Memorial in Yard Hill is probably like a 25-minute cab ride. I don't know, maybe 15-minute cab ride, something like that. And the ambulance probably gets there a little bit quicker.
Yeah, understandably.
Good.
You come in, they bring him in on the stretcher, and while you are bringing him through, Abigail Fripp, your coworker and roommate, comes walking down the hall. Hey, what's up? What's going on?
Trauma to shoulder secondary to severe puncture with extensive blood loss.
Ooh. Okay.
We're gonna have to put it on the board.
You know this guy?
Yes.
Huh. Okay, then I'm going to assign this to, and she looks down at the clipboard, and Landry. And
Do we like Landry for this?
I don't like you operating on your own friend, that's for sure.
Why?
Call me superstitious. Tell you what, why don't you leave this to Dr. Landry? You know, she's great, and you can come with me on my errand. I need to talk to you anyway.
Tally. Final offer.
Tally?
Yes. If I'm not doing the surgery, I want the best.
Make a willpower roll. Abigail,
Yep.
oh, man. Oh.
I'm in the same boat, my dude.
What did you get?
Well, plus willpower is a 4.
I'll tell you what. She looks down. All right, I'll tell you what. I will make this happen. And she crosses out a thing and draws some arrows and crosses out another thing and draws some arrows and kind of signs her name here, 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 and here, and then hands it off to the paramedic who puts the chart in the stretcher, and pushes you off down the hallway. And
Thank you.
Abigail says, "Yeah, of course. Trust me, this is the best way to do it. And Tally's the best. I have to go walk a couple of blocks away. There were some firemen. They beat the crap out of each other. They were probably just drunk or something. But Tally told me to look for environmental agents. So I think it's a big waste of time. But I'm walking down there. You want to take the walk with me? I need to ask you something."
Yes. Of course.
"I'll get my coat." And she goes off to get her coat. Ulez and Benny, you arrive at the hospital. The cab pulls into the, let's say, driveway. And you find your way up. Let's say you run into Caden there in the lobby.
Hey, everything okay?
Yes, he's going to be in surgery with Dr. Tally, my attending. She is significantly more experienced than I or Landry.
Experience
This is my
good.
Abigail.
Hello? Hi.
We cohabit.
Oh, I see. I'm Benny.
Greetings.
You're talking to Abigail.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Okay, she's gonna get her coat. Okay, let's say she's back.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry.
No, sorry. Hey, I'm Abigail Fripp. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And she looks over at Ulez and I like this. I like this. Nice to meet you. And extends her hand. And then she pulls her hand back. Wow.
If did she do the same to Benny? Because Benny would try to be like, look at Leo's like, this is the custom, like without outwardly saying that in front of a stranger.
Don't get it.
I would try to show rather than tell, but if it didn't go, that's also great.
Yeah, no, let's just say it didn't go down.
Perfect. Perfect.
We're not going to be gone long. Why don't you go up to the waiting room, or there's good cafeteria. Food's actually not bad for hospital stuff.
It
Anyway,
should be
nice
a fairly
to meet
quick arthroscopy. Shouldn't be more than a couple hours at most.
Cool. We can probably hang out. I mean,
I would love to examine the hospital food.
let's do that.
We're
gonna go examine hospital food.
The salad bar.
And the two of you head up to look for the salad bar.
Yes.
I mean, like, eat and read the notes that we got. We got a lot of papers and like some
Yeah,
bloody
yeah, yeah.
gowns.
We got
to
some time. Yeah.
suss out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you head up to do that, and you're waiting online for food while Caden is headed over to the fire station with Dr. Fripp. And along the way, Dr. Fripp's. So, Tally noticed that you didn't show up quite on time this morning, so I just wanted to let you know that I told her your great uncle Morty died in a miniature golf-related accident. I kind of.
What is miniature golf, and what qualitative factors make an uncle great?
Well, we'll go over that later. I didn't know what to say, but I figured she wouldn't know
He was
anything.
bleeding.
Who was bleeding? Your friend?
Yes.
Oh, you were late because you were with him when he got
Yes.
injured.
Yes.
Well,
But if I should instead deceive my attending and say that the small golf injured my excellent uncle, then I will do that.
I'd say at this point we just stick with that if she asks. And if you don't mind me asking, all of these shifts you've been missing, do you mind if I take them? I could use some of the money.
For what?
For, rent.
Yes, you can have the. Do you need my money? I don't think I'm using a lot of it,
Well,
except for the rent. There is a lot, I understand.
yeah. And uh and she looks at you, she's like, you know how I don't like taking money from my father?
Yes, you have said that on multiple occasions, typically after phone conversations, after which you display expressions of consternation.
Well, long story short, my bank account's empty and I got nobody else to go to right now but him, and I really don't want to. So if I am really grateful if you can help me out here.
Yes, of course, you can have the shifts and the money payments, whatever you need, not to rely on that asshole.
That is why I love you. And she gives you a big hug and she's like, because just basic decency and humanity. Anyway, and she looks up and you are at the firehouse. Should we
So
look around?
were they? They're supposed to fight the fire, and instead they fought each other?
Well, there was no fire. My understanding is they were doing some kind of drill, and then some kind of fight broke out, and some of the men involved who were, I mean, extremely injured. It was actually kind of frightening how much damage they did to each other. They said that they kind of just erupted in anger, and I don't know. Again, I think they were probably drunk, but Tally said we have to look. So
Understood. Well, then let us examine and see what conclusions we may draw.
you are standing in front of a firehouse. It is, picture standard firehouse. Got a couple of big doors for, fire engines come in and out right in front. It's got some bushes going around the side. It's in a, it is in Yard Hill, so it's, fairly urban area. Not quite skyscrapers, Avalon urban, but, Brooklyn urban. And tell you what, why don't you make an intellect roll? And you can use your medical bonus for this because you're making a medical investigation.
Understood. I will do that. Thank you. That's another 7.
You and Abigail spend a good, let's say, 45 minutes walking around, taking samples, soil, scrapings from the ground. You interview the firehouse assistant chief who was a witness to the event and tells you essentially that he was standing with them 1 minute and he went to get a pen and came back and they were fighting, and that's all he knows. And it all goes by, fairly quickly, but you do not seem, at least without analyzing your samples, to think you have found anything.
Does the report reflect roughly the knowledge of what we, the lore drop-ees, might know?
Yeah, I would say you know about exactly what you heard in that lore drop.
Wonderful. I think that is enough to cast aspersions on the hypothesis that this is alcohol related.
And Fripp goes, well, none of them tested positive for alcohol in their systems at the time, but I don't know. This kind of thing, this feels like a bar fight or some kind of sports thing. One of them insults the other team. The next
What
team,
is a
they're all throwing punches.
sports? I know you've told me before, but I've forgotten.
All right, I will explain it on the way back. Come on,
Thank you.
we'll send this stuff to the lab. I don't think there's anything here. And she takes you back. Now, back at the hospital, Ulez and Benny, you are up in the cafeteria. You are trying the salad bar? What are you trying?
We are.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And while you are working on your salads, I don't know.
I'll carry the urn so that Ulis can pick out whatever they want to try.
I
So-
put one piece of everything in my bowl.
Yeah, that looks good, Ulis.
Thank you for carrying all that stuff. There was so much. So many
Yeah.
papers kept slipping.
Yeah, I could have taken some from you earlier. I'm sorry I didn't.
That's okay. Why would you do that?
To help
With what?
carry.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, good. Let's go. Let's sit down so you can try your salad bar. Okay.
Excellent.
I'm gonna go sit down and combination try salad bar, investigate these things that Ula has found.
Sure. You unwrap the hospital gown, and inside there is that black satchel, which is full of papers and stuff.
Mhm.
And you start digging through it, and you find the first thing you pull out of the black satchel is a huge wad of cash. You count through it; it is $3,000.
I'll put that right back in that satchel. We're in a public place. That looks a little sketchy.
Okay. You put it back in.
We
And-
have more cab currency, which is good.
Yeah, we do. We can maybe also get you a phone.
We will talk about that.
Yeah.
And the next thing you pull out is a passport, and you
We
open
got
it.
the passport anyways.
It is Curtis Haber's passport.
Try fleeing the country now, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you pull out the next batch of stuff, and
I want to say I would like to be doing this like behind, like if there's like a centerpiece and the fern next to it, so that everything is next to it. So we're like, there's a little bit of a barrier between us.
So you're between two ferns.
Sam.
yeah, let's say it's one of those things where it's like you're trying so hard to like avoid being conspicuous and being spotted that you're like hiding behind a fern in the middle of the
Yeah,
cafeteria.
literally. Yeah. Uh-huh. Just so that there's like a visual, like something to impede visual line of sight on what we're looking at, just in case we pull something like super illegal out of these.
Absolutely. And the next thing you pull out, as a matter of fact, is a handful of fake IDs.
Oh,
All Curtis Haber, but under, I don't know, let's say 5 or 6 different names,
excellent.
different
to
states,
know.
that kind of stuff. And you reach in, and next what you pull out is a gun.
Oh, don't pull that out at all.
Yeah, you put it back in. I'll tell you what.
We gotta go, I think. I don't think we can be in the hospital with this stuff right now.
Okay.
And you put it back in. You rummage around some more, and there is one last thing in the bag. And
The worst bag.
it is a box with a bunch of papers just stuffed into it. And when you open them up, they are all pay stubs from a place called 3 County Plumbing and Electric.
Huh. Does it have like a location, like a where in the city it's located?
Yeah, it is an address in Grinnell Circle, which is the same neighborhood that you visited the guy whose car Curtis Haber stole in.
Oh.
In fact, Jake, if you can put up, I think map 2 for this week, the Baronsdale map, it will I think it's got Grenell Circle on it. But yeah, so that is about 10, 15 minutes on foot from where you are right now.
Okay, well, as soon as Ulaz is finished with their salad bar tasting, I would like to get us out of the building. Just, I don't like having all this stuff on us in the middle of a hospital. That makes Caitlin and also Benny a little bit freaked out. So, and hope that we can catch the doctor on their way back in and kind of share our what we've found. Would be the
Sure.
ideal.
On the way back in, you run.
Well, I would like to see what Ulez thinks about the salad, though. That's very important to me.
Oh,
I want
yes,
to know
of course.
their review of the salad bar.
Gosh, I think then as you were tentatively and terrifyingly pulling out items from this bag, it genuinely got worse every time Rick spoke.
Yeah.
You know, you've got this fern arranged in front of you to the best of your ability to distract from what you were doing with your hands, and then next to you, not like sitting in front of you because table etiquette, why wouldn't you want to sit next to the person, is Ulez, who has taken everything from the bowl and is lining it up like on the table based on what they find most visually appealing. Olives are towards the top. There's a chunk of feta that they think is simply gorgeous. It's got a wonderful texture too. And if you examine like the cells in it, like it's a wonderful makeup. And like, why would you put this in salad? I've got a couple samples, or we have a couple samples of the dressings. And like the busiest dressing, maybe like a poppy seed, is on the side of my favorite because it's the prettiest. Balsamic vinaigrette, boring. It's towards the ugliest. So it's this entire table on my side is taken up with food pieces, but arranged wonderfully.
And they do not eat them. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah,
cool.
why would they do that? No.
Excellent. Benny at some point would point out which things were plants at one point.
So this feta was not.
No.
I don't like it. Moving it to the ugly side.
Understandable.
Thank you. What about this green piece? Dark green, oval shape with a stem in between.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. A lot of green things are generally going to be plants as far as food goes.
Truly.
And
that's going to come back and bite me in the ass that I said that to you, but I'm sticking with it.
I'm going to write it down so I don't forget.
Good. Thank you. Not all, but a lot of them. So like, and she'll point out like the anything leafy, if there's like, you've got like a green bell pepper and like whatever. So all plant, and sometimes you get fun colors. Just point out like a carrot and like a tomato. So not always, but
This carrot's beautiful. It's only a small round piece, but I find it simply brilliant.
Yeah.
And then you go down to.
And then we go down.
Okay, yeah, you start heading down the stairs. Yeah, when you get back to the lobby, you run into Caden and Abigail on the way in. Oh, hey, it's your friends.
Small golf is a sport.
It sure is. Do you have a second? Or do you have to go do things?
Small golf.
I will have to report or work on a report for my attending for once she's out of surgery regarding fighters. But
okay.
I think I have a moment. I look to Abigail to double check that, like, did I get this right? Yeah, did I do the thing? And then when I see a recognition, I move off.
Okay, I would like us to go outside. I don't want to be in the building anymore.
All right.
We possess items that has made Benny, their heart rate has increased significantly, and I believe that they may be sweating or perspiring due to nerves.
That's a
correct.
common human physiological reaction, yes.
Oh.
So all the stuff that Liz was able to nab from Curtis's house is troubling. And I'll just kind of give a rundown of everything we found.
Yeah, you're credited with all that now.
So yeah, didn't want to have firearm in the hospital, which is why I've moved us to the sidewalk.
Is he attempting to invade the Earth?
You know, I couldn't give you an answer one way or the other, but I would guess that he couldn't do it by himself. So if that was what he was doing,
There
he's
are
not working
multiples.
alone.
Well, yes, that's
I
of course true. You would need at minimum 8. But
Did you see the cards? There were multiples of him.
that was what I thought. Because typically, when you invade, you are required to have some kind of pretext.
Okay, well, my
and
guess
identity.
is
These are multiple. Are these all from the same planet? This what is a misery?
that sure
There
is
is
a
an
way.
ID from the state of Missouri.
Yep, yeah. That sure is one thing to call it. It's just another place here. All of these are here.
Is it on the other coast, or is it in Michigan?
Neither. We'll look at some maps later. But my guess is that he's doing criminal things and wants to have different names so they can't trace what he's doing back to his real stuff.
That shows excellent forethought.
Yes, which makes this concerning.
Right, because he is, according to our information, only a low-level enforcer with the Mafia organization, indicating that his skills were underutilized.
Or someone's doing this for him.
That's also a possibility. I understood that these organizations were collaborative. I watched A Soprano once with Abigail.
Sounds very informative.
I still don't know what a soprano is. So there were some
Couldn't tell
details
ya.
lacking.
We should ask Vion.
Fion would know, yeah.
He's unfortunately occupied at the moment by being deeply unconscious.
I hope that stops soon.
Me too.
Ideally within a certain proximate interval, but not immediately.
Okay.
I think that would be distressing to him.
Thank you.
Of course, yes.
So
Happy
should
to-
we just like chill and wait, or is there should we do something in the meantime?
Well, people who are not performing the surgery are typically occasionally invited to observe the surgery, but not if they are related to people in the surgery. Mostly people who are the trainees. So
I have a
unfortunately, you would have to be in a waiting room.
That's great. I had no intention of seeing any more of Vion's blood today. Would you think maybe you're not the right person to ask? Would it be wrong to use some of these strange funds we found to get Ulez a phone? Because maybe we can do that in the meantime.
It seems a better use of them and seems more morally upstanding than returning it to someone who isn't himself an evildoer.
You know what?
So I
I'll
find
take
myself
that.
disinclined to return these funds to him.
You make a good point. Ulez, let's go get you a phone.
I would like that. Will you
Okay.
explain your
Is this
currency
typically how funds are found?
in bags of blood?
I ask because the person with whom I cohabitate also requires the money payments.
Can we share some of our money payments?
It would be welcome if you were willing.
Yeah, I would assume this does not belong to any of us individually, so I don't know, go for it. I really want to get you a phone first, because I would be very stressed out if we got separated from you and you could not get a hold of us.
Could it be green?
It super could be green, yeah.
Thank you.
I
Yeah,
will use mine to inform you if there are any changes or further updates.
Excellent.
Omitting details about blood. Yes?
I just don't want to look at it, but thanks.
I will not send imaging.
Thank you.
Enjoy phone.
I am looking forward to this.
Excellent.
All right, I'm gonna pull up my phone and try to find the nearest place where we can get Ula something, and then I presume spend the next while looking at all of the case options, and then spend a significant amount of time walking through the process of how all of the phone stuff works.
And yeah, no, that's great. And you and Ula go phone shopping. Do you think, how much do you think you get, like a good, like expensive, something, or what do you think you do?
Oh, I don't know. I
Three
feel like
$3,000. What are you spending?
what are we spending? I would say like just as like Benny as a person is not going to get them like here's a piece of shit that's not going to work for you for very long. Like, but I don't think Benny is someone who splurges on very large high-end things anyway. Probably just like a very average phone, something similar to what Benny has, but maybe a newer model, because I don't think her phone is super new either. So just like I don't think she goes very hard one way or the other.
Okay. And while you're doing that back at the hospital, Caden, you get the message that your friend is waking up. And as you are walking into his room, Dr. Tally comes walking out, and she passes you. And at first she doesn't say anything, but once she's about a step behind you, she just says, "How's great Uncle Morty? Did he pull through?"
Unfortunately, no.
It's very sad. I keep saying
Yes.
miniature golf is a dangerous sport. And she turns her back and just walks slowly down the hallway. And
I now note that it has more appeal than it did previous.
and you enter the room to find Vion in his bed, awake now.
Oh,
Hey,
you're
Doc.
recovering. Hello. Are you enjoying the pharmaceuticals?
They could work a little bit more, if I'm being quite honest.
All right.
Still stings a bit, don't it?
I'll actually tap the pump then real quick, because controlling pain post-surgically is necessary, and I'm authorized to do that, and I put it in the chart. Don't chase the pain, kids. Do not.
How you doing?
Better than you.
All right. Yeah, hell of some bedside manner you got there, Doc.
Thank you. I get comments of that nature a lot.
Where's Ulas and Benny?
They are taking appropriated funds for the purpose of a communications device.
Oh, they're getting a phone?
Yes.
That's good. All right. All right.
Did you have a unconscious hallucination?
Oh, when we all got flashied, or like from what's his name? I can't. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't. Laugh at me. I can't. These.
Aphasia after anesthesia is very common.
Yeah. I had a little bit of a visit from the old sheriff. Oh boy.
Who is that?
Sheriff?
Yeah.
He's how do I put this? He's the first face I saw after I got into my accident. Wandering spirit of sorts. Kind of a stranger to me too, if I'm being quite honest, but oddly familiar in another way too, I guess. I'm sorry. I'm 4 sheets to the wind on this on these painkillers, Doc. I got to be completely honest. If none of this is making any sense, it's it's kicking in.
It makes significantly more sense than several conversations I've had.
How about you?
I think I experienced a REM dream.
Oh yeah, is it unusual for you, or you don't got to answer if that's an invasive question. I don't mean to pry.
I don't like them.
Yeah.
Do you have them all the time?
Yeah. Most of the time when you sleep.
I'm sorry. Those are terrible.
Oh, thanks. Some cultures think that you're tapping into some other world sometimes, or sometimes a collective experience that we all kind of share. So that's kind of cool.
That would be improbable.
Did you see something scary, or why didn't you like it?
A remembrance of things past. You should rest now. It's required for recovery. This should be an outpatient surgery, so you will be able to go home at the end of the shift.
Hey,
Do you
Doc.
prefer that I stay here? Or would you prefer to be left to your own devices?
Now pull up a seat.
Yes, of course.
And as you sit down to keep him company, we're going to pass a little bit of time. And Benny and Ula, as you finish your shopping, and eventually,
What does I want to know the phone case that Ula's picked out?
the phone case that Ula picks out is it makes the back of the phone look like Kermit the Frog's face.
Oh my god!
So it's all kind of green with like a lighter green kind of like little triangle-y things around it.
I
And-
put in we set up the favorites, and there's only going to be 3 contacts, but all 3 favorites, all 3 of them in the favorites because I have everyone's numbers, so we get it all set up. And I'm also gonna put in 911 as a contact and put the note in it that's like, in case of like medical emergency, when none of us can like help ourselves, and like I'm just gonna like a very specific like use this one in like big time emergencies, when if you're the only one who can I don't know, whatever, basically just like kind of run down what that does in the notes of that contact, and then I will give it to Ulez, and we'll let them ask questions as to how to do things, and we'll get a few apps.
B, I want you to add that phone to your character sheet with all that stuff. So that,
I get like we get like the bubble wrap popping app, and like the let's
Candy
see,
Crush.
Yeah, we get Candy Crush. What other apps do we think would Ulez like?
Aloe Bud for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are
reminders
at
of
least
plants.
some where you can grow little virtual plants.
Little plants.
That
Yeah,
is very
definitely get a
important.
couple of those. I get one of those the app that you can like take a photo of a plant leaf and it'll identify it for you. So I'll get you that, because I don't know if your systems do that, or if you just like categorize them on your own and then but this has the earth names for them. So
Wow.
mm,
I'm never going to stop using this.
that tends to happen. Yeah.
That's great. By the way, also apparently we just opened up the second tier, so your mysterious benefactor has a rebreather on the way to you now. And apparently we're only
We didn't breathe
$100.
properly the first time. We can do it again.
That's right. That's right.
Wait, what is a rebreather?
It's like, you ever see like in a James Bond movie, it's like this little tube that you kind of like bite on your mouth, and it gives you like a couple of minutes worth of oxygen if you have to like swim underwater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
like they're called a rebreather. I had to look it up.
Cool.
There's a little unused oxygen content in an exhalation, so it'll effectively scrub the carbon dioxide, and then you can use the remainder naturally because you're running on effectively your own exhaust that gets cleared out. There's a limited time duration to rebreathers as an apparatus.
That is so cool, though.
You a spy, Sam?
Yes.
Why would I answer that question on
all right.
Oh yeah, no. So by night, Sam Delev plays role playing games, but by day they are one of the world's most sought after international espionage agents.
Gosh, heck, can they still be a spy if we found out?
Oh,
They need to
right.
get relocated now.
Everybody forget what we just said.
You'd only have to forget if I'm a spy, which, of course, I'm not.
So later on, you get dismissed from the hospital, Omar. Dr. Talley comes back, checks you out, thinks you are strong enough, stable enough to send home. And I'll say at this point, the 4 of you are all back in together when he is dismissed. And let's put you down in the lobby, baby Omar. Vion, you've got one of those, crappy hospital wheelchairs with and they've taken you to the door, and even though there's nothing wrong with your legs, you're just they're just kind of being hospital cautious with you, and yeah, and the four of you meet in the lobby.
Greetings.
Hey,
Hi, welcome back. How you doing?
a little worse for wear, I guess.
Understandable.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're much shorter, but I appreciate your moving apparatus.
Thank you, and thank you. I don't think I get to keep this, but
Oh,
it's been nice. Yeah.
it had pockets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are highly valued.
As somebody who just carried a bloody shirt with many documents for a long time, I was considering the value of pockets.
Yeah, they're pretty great. We'll have to get you a backpack or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should get you to your residence.
Thanks.
I'll
Yeah.
call a transportation.
Let's say it's late in the afternoon. By the time you're getting Vion back to his place, it is getting dark.
1 second.
That time so too.
Where did everybody go? Did you all go back to Vion's, or did you go back your separate, like, Benny and Caden, did you go your separate ways? Just curious.
I mean, we probably if Vion is still like on pain medication, I think Benny probably would have gone with just to like make sure he was settled in, like because I don't know how much Ulez knows about.
Well, so they'll dismiss with a packet of plain language post-op instructions.
Yeah.
So there is at least that. It should be a reasonable protocol to be followed. Caden will have to remain at the hospital once the transportation is secured in order to do more surgeries and obtain the money payments.
I think Benny will go back to Vion's with everyone. One, so I can help carry the plant, and also so we can inform Vion of everything that we learned and found today.
Sure. Caden, you stay behind to work. You've got a busy night shift ahead of you. The rest of you go back to Vion's, where you find a package waiting for you at Vion's door. And when you crack it open, it is a gift from your mysterious benefactor. You find a rebreather inside.
Woohoo!
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, $100 to the Lord drop.
Woo-hoo.
And yeah, and as you get back, you settle onto your couch, and they start filling you in. Sandy Carpa comes up to say hello and see how you're doing, and let's say you check on him from his beating yesterday. He checks on you,
Birds of a feather, huh?
and he turns on the TV. And while you're sitting there, Mayor Jan Lindell, the mayor of Port Ruby, is on PR3 giving a speech, and he is behind the podium, and he is, I think we said he was cast as William H. Macy, and he stands behind the podium, and he sort of says, they say Port Ruby is named for the brilliant red sunset that was reflecting off the waters of our bay when the first explorers arrived. And if you stand out on the boardwalks of Baronsdale or the piers of Avalon at the right hour, you can still see that ruby color, just as you can still see the great promise that this place holds. It is no secret this earthquake hit us hard, and fixing the damage won't be easy or cheap. But I am asking the people of Port Ruby to look at this as an opportunity to build a better city. And as such, I am proposing a vast rebuilding program to the city council, a partnership with some of Port Ruby's most generous corporate residents. We are going to turn something bad into something good by using this rebuilding as a way to start turning Port Ruby into the city of the future. And he keeps talking, but Sandy Carpa kind of picks up the remote and clicks off the TV, and he's like, "I hate that idiot." All right, I'm going to sleep. And he kind of gets up and kind of, grabs his side and kind of limps a little bit out the doors. You feel better, Vian. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Right back at you, Sandy.
And he leaves.
Okay, so like, what do we do with this stuff?
Yeah, the gown and everything.
There is a weapon. There
There is
are
a weapon.
funds. What else was there?
Fake IDs and a passport.
Yes, copies of the human.
Right, the gun. Oh, did you say the gun already? Sorry. Okay.
And a bunch of
Benny,
receipts.
if you go to
Pay stubs.
Pay stubs.
pay stubs, Benny, if you go to my bookshelf, on display is a copy of the Christmas Carol. If you open that, you'll actually see it's got a handle inside. I got a safe there that you can hide that right behind.
I do so. We get that stuff. We get it all stored away.
Okay. Yeah, you get that stored away. Vian, you are now credited with all that knowledge about the gun and the fake IDs and the pay stubs, which were from 3 County Plumbing and Electric. And
I do want to like make note either like in my phone or something of all of the names of on fake IDs. So that we
that's
just have
good.
those at easy, like at access, we can look into them because I do want to do some Googling. But also if we come across the names, I want to be able to like quick check.
Sure.
Like names in like the state that they're associated with.
Okay,
Yeah, just use the notes app on the phone. Keep
Yeah.
a little-
I will make that list for you,
Cool.
say after the game or something, and send it to you, and we'll have. I probably should have come up with those names in advance, but I just
Nah.
don't have 5 quite ready to go at the moment. But no, maybe I could have it by the end of the break. We're getting close to the break. So you take all those notes and you lock the stuff up in the safe. Let's say it's 8 and 9 o'clock on I think we're on Wednesday night. What's your next move?
Well, I think you need rest.
Yeah, I should probably get some sleep.
Okay. I don't know if do I have work tomorrow?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay. Well, we will regroup if I still have a job tomorrow. We'll find out. That'll be fun. You let me know if you need anything. Text me. Ulez has everyone's numbers now. I've made them text all of you.
I
So-
have greeted all of you.
Mhm. We got emojis and everything, so we'll see. That'll be fun for everyone involved.
The dog one is my favorite.
It's very good. And I'm gonna go home, and I will talk to you tomorrow probably.
It sounds good. Thanks for
And
everything, Benny.
I'll make sure I'll get like glass of water stuff set up, like make sure that like you've got stuff like within reach.
Oh,
you know,
you're
to get
very
up too much,
kind.
and
Thank
then
you.
and
Yeah,
then
all
Benny
right.
will go.
All right, thank you. Text us when you get back, just to make sure. Not just because it's a city, because there's super. I'm talking too much. I'll see you tomorrow.
Weird city. Will
Weird
text,
city.
and and I'll head home.
All right. You head home. Caden, you are at work. Les and Vian, you are at Vian's place, and
New Fern.
Yeah, honestly, taking pictures of the fern. I sent a couple of
It's your best
photos
fern?
to. Wait, say that again?
Is it your best fern now?
It's my best fern. I thought you said that. I'm like, yeah, no, yeah. I definitely sent Dr. Caden, I don't know, 2 photos of the fern from different angles. I sent 3 to Vion. One of the ferns I was holding up, and like I got like the background, like if you have a window, it was like outside. And then I got some photos of the dirt and the leaves, very, very up close, and I sent those to Benny.
Benny sends back some of the leaf emojis and a thumbs up.
okay.
We're very happy. We feel so connected again. This is good.
And Benny, you you. I already said right. You head off into the subways and you get home. And
I'll probably try to do. I probably have a little bit of a freelance queue that I have not worked on in the past several days that she'll probably try to do a little bit of when she gets home.
All right. So you're gonna work into the night, and Caden's gonna work into the night, and Ulez is gonna hang out with Ferns, and Vion's gonna sleep off his meds, and
May I send one text message to get it into the queue and give time for responses? I message Dalen, hoping that she enjoyed the rice, and asking if she has heard from Bella Murata recently. I have concerns, and given Curtis's recent demonstration.
so okay. I'm sorry. Say the first part about that again. You're gonna text.
I text Dalen asking
okay.
about Bella.
Asking about Bella.
And also asking if she enjoyed the rice. Yes, that was the first part.
You send that text out, and while you are waiting for a response, let's take a 10-minute break. We'll be back. Welcome back. When we left off, Caden had sent a text to Dalen Prawley asking what the deal with Bella Murata was, trying to establish a bit of a timeline there. And I will say you did get that response from Dalen, and what she says is Bella skipped town Tuesday night.
Is that last night?
Yeah, after Dalen, yeah. How did you find out?
How did Dalen find out that Bella skipped
Yes.
town? Oh. She told me.
I recount the incident. Because Dalen is aware and has witnessed certain things, and so I can exposit a little more freely to her than I can to many humans.
And she responds, "No way." I mean, if you're asking if
Right of way.
she responds, "No way Bella goes to talk to Curtis unless she had to."
Therefore, I asked how you knew about her skipping town.
She told me.
Uncoerced?
I'm meeting her soon.
You have my communication information if you require backup.
And you just get one of those thumbs up.
Good hunting.
And then the morning comes. By the way, we are $75 away from the after credits lore drop. So close. We are incredibly grateful for all the donations so far, and would really appreciate helping us get there. But when the morning comes, Benny, you have to go to work, and the first thing you take the subway on in, and you find Dino Mink just sitting behind his desk, kind of staring at you as you walk in.
How's it going?
How's it going? And like hops up and it's like how. Okay. either you're going to tell me what's going on here, or you're going to treat me like an asshole. And if you're going to treat me like an asshole, then fine, let's just get back to work. But
Dino, I treat you like an asshole every day, and you treat me like an asshole. That's just kind of how this business relationship works. I don't know what more you want from me.
yeah, but that's what stuff that doesn't matter. This matters. What happened to you? What happened to your head?
What happened to me? Truthfully, I don't know.
Make a willpower roll.
It's true. She doesn't know how she can do that. She doesn't know where she got the powers from.
Yeah, but you know when you don't lie, you tell the truth,
it's
and
definitely
it just sounds
partial.
shady? Roll for
either way.
accidental shady sound.
Oh, either a convince or lie. It's the same role, but she's answering part of the question. Jeez. 8.
You
Bad
don't know. So, are you curious?
No, it's a little freaky. I would like to not think about it as much as possible.
Okay, hang on. Just give me a second here, because what it sounds to me like what you are saying is that your head spontaneously lit on fire and you didn't get burned from the flames, but you're not curious to find out why. Do I have all that correct?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
That makes no sense. How can you possibly not be curious? Then come on. If you come, let's figure it out. If you don't know, let's figure it out. This could be huge.
No one needs to know about that. Actually, Dino,
Well, no, I mean just huge to us. Nobody needs to know.
do I believe him in that? That he doesn't want to, that is he being truthful? That he's just curious?
I'll tell you what, make a willpower roll.
Boy.
That is my fourth one of the night.
9.
He is telling the truth. You get the feeling that, he is absolutely serious. Listen, look, you know what I do for a living? I chase around D-list celebrities and stupid people who make up memes and cats who have funny faces or weird spots on their body. And this is something real. This is a discovery. This is important, and I want to help you figure out what it is. Come on. You know you're gonna say yes. Come on. Me and you.
You say one more word, I'm gonna fucking light this whole office on fire, dude. Okay, fine. But you don't say shit to anybody except for me, okay?
Not a word.
Do I believe him?
I'll say you do. You rolled so much better with him on the last willpower check that I'll say you still believe that he is totally, sincerely caught up in this mystery. And the two of you finish your workday. Meanwhile, across town in Fort Trumbull, across town, 25 minutes away in Fort Trumbull, Ulez and Vion, you are waking up to a new day. What do you do in the morning?
I'm gonna assume I like crash on the couch, and so I wake up, and since I don't know, I've broken my arm before, so I can play off of that. I'm like definitely like kind of out of it, but I want to just like really quickly, just like I think the first thing I do is just like check on Ulez. So just Ulez, hey Ulez, are you all right?
I have not moved. Well, I mean,
Okay.
I moved to take photos of my plant. Have you received the image? Have you received the text that I have sent you?
And I reach for my phone and it hurts. I'll check in a little bit, but I'm sure I did.
Understood. Would you like me to boil your plant water?
Oh, my tea? Yeah, that would be great, actually. Thank you very much, Ulez.
You're welcome. I have observed.
Uh,
oh.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
I'll say that for
And-
later.
And Caden, you have been working all night. It was a busy, though for the most part, ordinary shift. And Abigail, who went home in the evening and is now coming back for her next shift in the morning, catched you on your way out and let you know that she. Anyway, I got called. Call from the lab. Those samples we took over at the fire station yesterday,
Yes.
all normal.
What is the provisional diagnosis then?
I'm sticking with some kind of sports riot for now, but I don't know. I'm gonna go talk to Tally and see what she thinks our next move is. You want me to keep you in the loop, or I don't know. It's not really your case, so you don't want to. If you want to wash your hands of this, I understand.
I don't think I need to remain sterile for this kind of intellectual investigation.
And she kind of hits you on the shoulder as if you're, hilarious, and I kind of
Oh, Abigail,
yes.
I think I have a path to acquiring the money payment that you were concerned about.
What kind of a path?
My friends had some. They said they would share.
Your friends have some money that they'll share?
Yes.
Uh,
Does that help?
well, where, why would they? Okay, which of your friends? I
The-
didn't know you had who.
You met them.
Those people from yesterday.
Yes.
Who are they?
Benny and Ulas. The one with the injured shoulder is
Leon.
Leon. Yes. Of
Is he the
course, you
same
read the chart.
Leon Bigger who used to write those books?
I've heard that before, so I'll assume contextually yes.
Huh. They were okay-ish.
I think perhaps I will not convey that sentiment.
Yeah. I imagine you're headed home to go to sleep now.
I am planning to leave the hospital. Yes.
All right. Well, I'll let you know if I hear anything on the firehouse stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Nighty night. So where do you go?
Day.
So where do you go?
Walk outside the hospital. Pause. Strongly fight the instinct to go back into the hospital and do more work. Because there were... I don't like those dream things. And the nice thing about surgery is it requires all of one's concentration, and one doesn't have to think about dream things. So I need to find something as distracting as surgery so that I do not think about dream things. I realize that the cluster truck is probably the most engaging. So I send into the group text now inclusive of Ules, shall we investigate the cluster truck?
You get a yes, but it depends on what time of day it is, whether or not I can go right now.
I did an all-nighter.
So it's morning time?
It is day. I don't understand.
Yeah.
You are with Dino right about now.
Yeah.
This is probably her Abigail's conversation with Caden is probably happening at the same time that you're having your conversation with Dino.
I'll give it an estimated time in which I am done for the day.
Sure. And it's just a few hours. He doesn't really need a ton from you today. And if you want, we can, if no one's got anything else they need to do right now, we can move forward to that point. Say you are at.
I do threaten Dino one more time is to not fucking talk about it before I leave, and then I go.
And as you're walking out, it's like you're walking down the hall, and it's one of those. He just keeps, it's like, not a word. My lips are zipped. Zero. Bupkis. Nothing.
I'd flick you off if you were my boss, and then the elevator door closes as I go downstairs, and then I meet everyone.
Yeah, let's say you meet at Dion's place.
That seems sensible, given that he's post-op.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
Surgeries were successful last night. My patients are recovering, both.
Good. Anyone want any tea? I don't mean to expend your services, Ulez, but I this is really just my way of bragging about Ulez's tea making abilities.
I have made a lot of tea.
I would definitely have some Ulez tea.
Is it the bitter one?
Vion? I mostly chose it based on the color.
Yeah, Ulez is making some green tea.
Yes. That is not the bitter one.
I'd definitely go make green tea for everybody. This is wildly wholesome considering the circumstances.
Realize you're making your green tea. Benny, by the way, I have those names for you. The ones that you got off the fake IDs.
Cool.
So the first name, it's an Oregon ID for Jerry Krieg, Krieg. And the second one is Washington for in the name of Calvin Roth. And the third one is California. It's in the name of Wallace Fletcher. And the fourth one is a New Jersey ID, and it's in the name of Rory Owen. And the fifth one is Illinois, and it's in the name of Sean Sexton.
Did I hang on to the one from Missouri?
Yes, you have the one from Missouri, and the name on that one is, let's say, Peter Fields.
Sorry, where was the Sean one from?
Illinois.
Illinois. Cool. All right.
So yeah, so you are drinking your green tea.
I propose we contact the crimes journalist. Given that we've noted cluster in 2 locations now, one relevant to Hugo Hill, the evildoer, and the other relevant to Curtis Haber and the truck, also an evildoer. I refer, of course, to Curtis and not to the truck. It seems an extensive enough phenomenon that perhaps this crime expert might know of it.
Yeah. And I mean, if she's written about Vion, then that might be our in.
Vion, you should contact them.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you.
Do you recover faster if you're already dead?
Pardon?
Just so I know for future medical notes. Do you recover faster if you're already dead?
I mean, you tell me, Doc, how fast am I recovering right now?
Well, shoulder surgeries typically take a long amount of time, so it would be difficult to say based on the first 24 hours. I thought perhaps you had gotten injured previously while being dead and might have samples from which to work.
No, I'm going to be quite honest. This is sort of the deep end for me, too. I kind of did smaller stuff before I ran in with the rest of you. So, I mean, my shoulder's feeling better. I don't know if that helps your research.
It wasn't research. It was so I would know. But
Well, I'll keep you updated as to how I'm feeling as the hours go by.
They were observing.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I'll keep you. Yeah. You can feel free to observe. All right, here we go. I dial it. What's the number again? Could someone
Do some Googling real quick to find any contact for this person.
Sure, and yeah, she's she's a high-profile reporter, so it doesn't take you long to find her contact information at the Port Ruby Standard, and rings a couple of times and picks up and Anwit,
Hey, how's it going? This is Vion. Vion Vigor.
Vion Vigor. Vion Vigor. I know that name. Wait a minute. Didn't I just... Oh, from the article.
Yeah, well, for in the flesh. Well, no, it's on the phone, so it's not in the flesh, really, is it? On
No,
the phone.
I left a message on your voicemail for comments. You never got back to me.
Oh yeah. It's been a heck of a couple days. I'm gonna be quiet. Let me tell you that. Yeah, I got shot by an arrow, and it's just, and I want to turn and look at my friends and go, and you know what? It's really just setting in right now that I might not be the best individual to be carrying this conversation. So I'm gonna hand the phone off to Benny. And
But he's just going as he passed the phone to her.
Okay, that's I'm
And
getting the no signal.
She'll take it, but if you pass it to her, she's gonna be.
Do you want to talk to the doc?
Make a willpower roll.
Wow. Here we go. All right. Oh, a 10.
I don't really want to talk to the doc, but I guess I will.
All right.
The doc.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Dr. Dialto's the best. Trust me on that. Here you go.
Doc?
hello, this is Dr. Caden Dialto. You're Ann Witt.
That's right.
You're an expert on crime, yes?
That is my beat.
We've recently familiarized ourselves with some crime, and we were hoping that you could give us some contextual information about the local crime.
I'm sorry, who are you again?
Dr. Caden Dialto. I'm with Serrano Memorial Hospital.
Is this related to some sort of medical issue?
Yes.
Make a willpower roll.
5.
Okay.
Unless I add medicine, then 6. But I don't think so. So 5.
Okay. Why don't you come down to my office and we'll chat.
I'm going to eyeball Vion very quickly because, again, I don't know how dead people healing works. So he could be at sort of the up and about level, but I don't particularly want to have this interview without him present. So I'm doing the quick medical once over. Let's say. Maybe ghosts heal faster.
Do I have like a sling for my arm as to not put pressure?
They would have sent that with you.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm going to say, unless this violates anything, Rick, that like I get up and I am a little bit woozy from the meds, but like I comfortably walk over to the kitchen to pour myself like a tea. I mean, my arm is still like in it. It's going to be this one. My arm is still in a sling, but.
Yeah, we'll say, you are able to move around, but you have the temporary quality of injured, so you are probably going to be a little more tender than normal, and I can use that quality against you if things get physical. Otherwise, you feel relatively solid standing and walking.
So I see him, I observe his gait, I turn my attention back to the phone call, and I say, Yes, do you have an address where we may rendezvous?
And she feeds you. Well, she basically tells you, "Yeah, I'm at the Port Ruby Standard Building in Bray Square in Midtown, where it's been for years."
Oh no.
Was I supposed to assume that you worked out of that office and not another one?
Okay, fine. And
Have a good
she
day.
hangs up.
I will see you soon.
She's already gone.
Okay. Sam thinks that was fucking rude.
And so is that you just head there? Is that the deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
We
It
are ready.
takes you about 40 minutes on the subway or so to get into Bray Square, which is in Midtown, and what we'll say is, yeah. Liz?
How much do I love the subway?
Well, why don't you tell me? You walk through the
I don't know.
turnstiles and you come on to a relatively crowded platform where there are a whole bunch of Port Ruby commuters just kind of standing there, and it's kind of smells a little funky. There's a little bit of a little bit of train smell in the air, a little bit of brake, pad burning, a little bit of urine, and it's pretty warm, and the tunnels otherwise are covered with advertisements for movies and political candidates and things like that. And what do you think, Ulez thinks of all that?
This is terrible. All of it. I thought I would enjoy being confined. Part of that is mildly familiar, but it is gray. Everybody looks. They appear to be sad. It is hard to gauge everybody's heart rates as I pass them, but there is not a lot of joy around here. And the air, it possesses many odors of which I'm having trouble categorizing.
Ammonia. The prominent one is ammonia.
Thank you.
Ulez, you look down and there are these like two little kids just kind of staring up at you with like big smiles on their faces, and one of them looks at you and goes, "Are you from space?"
Greetings. I am. Thank you for asking. Where are you from?
Here.
Here is a good place for tiny versions of you.
And they both kind of giggle.
I have not met small humans yet.
That's right. This is new.
One of them's like, "I never met a big alien."
I don't know if that was a compliment.
And
I believe so.
coming from somebody very tiny, so
Definitely a compliment.
I noticed that Ulez is not having the best time on the subway. And hey, Ulez, you doing all right?
There are a lot of people here, and they all look very different. It is very crowded, very bumpy. Who engineered this?
I mean, that's a pretty big question with an even bigger answer. And it honestly changes depending on who's elected. But my favorite thing about riding on the subway that may be something that might make it a little bit more enjoyable for you is, we're on our way somewhere, but so is everybody else. And they're all kind of doing their own journey. And when you look around, it's all these people going on their way to go see family or friends or do something exciting, or maybe today's the day that their lives will change and you have no idea what's going to happen. So I don't know. It's just kind of fun. Also, you get to people watch. Sometimes you get some real strange people on the subway. So it's an added bonus.
And that little kid's just like, "That's for sure."
Child.
All right.
Struggle to categorize strange, but I appreciate the optimism of this. I can appreciate it if it still makes me feel uneasy.
Yeah. Hey, you remember those records we were listening to at my place?
I do. The auditory is recorded in my brain.
I would like to point out as we're getting off at the station, someone like playing violin or something like that.
Sure. There is, a kind of subway musician playing
Paganini.
Paganini.
That's how it's made. That's how it's done. It's folks like that.
Choice of location is questionable, but if this is part of the process, then I truly admire it. I will definitely notice that they have like whatever their instrument case is. If it's a violin, their violin case with money and bills inside of it. And Ulez will turn to Benny. May we provide some of our acquired funds to them?
I mean, I think it's all in the unsafe, but I have a couple of dollars, and I'll fish out some dollars to pass from my wallet for Ulez to go put in the case.
We will do so.
And when you throw the dollars in the case, the violinist looks up and is just like, "Love your threads." Just keeps.
We thank you.
And the train, and the train comes.
Caden stands there for a while, I should say. Sort of, dogs when they hear unusual sounds?
Mm-hmm.
The head tilt?
Good.
For all that their head is in fact aligned, you can feel that aura off of them.
Head tilt
They seem to
energy.
be studying it very intently, and there is no clear indicator of whether they like or loathe this. They do appear to be, well, in what I can only describe as the most literal sense, vibing. Or rather performing the vibe check. They haven't yet come to a conclusion of said check, but you'll definitely notice it's a thing that Caden doesn't have evaluation of, but is...
Doc, you ever played a violin or anything?
No?
Oh, I bet you'd be real good at it. Music's like well, I was gonna say surgery, but it's not quite like surgery, I guess. But I feel like many facets of your personality would really blossom and flourish. Would blossom and flourish while playing some musical instruments.
I don't understand how it works. I understand how it works. It's friction-inducing mechanical
Yeah.
waves, but I don't... The camera could see the equations going behind Caden's eyes, trying to work through the harmonic series and find the mathematical patterns of what the fuck? Like, what the math of this thing? What is going on with this? Why do people do it?
What the math?
What the math? Because it's much more ordered than a lot of the sound typically is. And I have heard the sound noises, but I still don't understand them.
It's a universal language, Doc. That's what's interesting about it.
No, I studied this. There are no universal languages for humans.
I agree.
The closest thing is English, which functions as a lingua franca, a term that itself comes not from English.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
well,
how is this? What are the linguistic properties?
well, Benny, how do we put this?
Not literally
Yeah.
language, but it's something that anyone, regardless of language, can understand and appreciate. Was that close?
Yeah, it's expression that we can share, and it kind of sort of doesn't really matter where you come from. You kind of just get it.
So violins is the universal language.
Well, not specifically violins. You got drums, you got oboes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Music
better way to put it.
as an art
Yeah.
form, anyone can do it.
The noise thing is an art?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I tell you what. Keep talking for a second. I gotta fix a light for a second.
Okay.
I can hear you. Keep going.
You have no noise art from where you're from? We are fond of noise art. Mostly boops and beeps.
Yeah, you got it.
That is also a noise art form here too.
Ah, Vian, why have you not shown this to me? Doctor,
Oh,
we must all listen.
Yeah, I got some synthwave stuff that later today we could definitely crank through. It's pretty great.
It's interesting. I guess if you don't have a voice, this is noise art.
Many folks strictly speak, through this. In fact, I think a lot of folks find it easier to speak through art than they are to speak, just with their everyday language, I guess.
Yeah.
I like the art here.
Oh,
All
thanks,
of it.
Liz.
Very good.
And understanding now, oh, this is supposed to be but it's really,
Yeah, we're gonna get you a musical instrument after this. We'll pick one up on the way back. I'm very curious to see how you
the violence one sounds like the right one for me. It
violin.
seems fitting. Yes,
Sorry?
the violence.
Well, it's violin.
It comes from
It
the
was
same...
a plural this whole time?
Okay,
Oh.
you know what? Maybe we'll get you a fiddle.
All right.
What if we could take them to like a music shop and they can try out a couple?
That we'll definitely do that. We
That'll be
will
fun.
definitely do that.
Sorry about that. The light did not fall though. So, you get to Bray Square in Midtown Avalon and find yourself outside the Port Ruby Standard Building, which is kind of an Avalon landmark. It goes back like 100 years. It's been in Bray Square the whole time. And, to keep things moving on, to say you find your way up to Anne Witt's office. And she, if we're casting her with an actress, she is Lucy Liu, as we decided last week. And she sees the four of you walk in, and you draw some stares, Ulez, as you walk through this newsroom. Now, Avalon's like, it's like Manhattan, so it's not quite like, people aren't used to seeing theater performers and all kinds of, weirdos walking around. So nobody's freaking out or anything, but you are getting some looks.
The place of business, they're like offices here. Like it's not like a
But
mall.
there could be the, the Arts and Metro, because
That's
there's
true.
an extreme Deadmau5
Yeah. Right?
just to this whole look.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, we're super close to the lore drop. Thank you so much. We're like, just like $30 away or something. And yeah, Ann Witt is there waiting for you, and she kind of looks the four of you over. Huh. I'm trying to figure out. No, I don't think I've ever seen four people who look less like they belong together. So, who are you?
Let me take a stab at this one. I'm Van Vigor,
Ah,
and you called me, and you left a message, and then I called you. I called you back.
but you didn't know I left the message, so it was just a coincidence that you were calling me back. So, what do you want?
That wasn't causal. I'm just. But now you remember. This is a list of events.
Okay.
Yeah. Dr. Dialto
Hello.
is right there. That's the doc.
Folk.
Yeah. You said something about crime.
Yes.
Okay.
This is my friend Ulez, and
Greetings.
yeah,
Greetings.
and this is Benny.
Hey.
Of course, Benny. So, Dion, Kaden, Ulez, Benny. Uh-huh. So, are you some kind of clubhouse or something? What?
Benny clamping down on the ears, just be like, no, we're a band. Like, no, what? She says nothing because we're talking with a professional, but
Yeah, we're kind of on a little bit of a mission right now, an investigation of sorts, with some sort of localized crime situations, which is why we thought that we would come to you, a source of information and insight into these sorts of things.
So you want to know what?
1 second. Would you give us 1 second? And I'm going to turn back to the group.
to be honest, barely hanging on.
I'm really playing this off of the time that I broke my arm while
Yeah.
decorating for a dance and I was on codeine.
No, you were 1 day out of surgery and like, we're doing stuff. I love this.
We're making you
Go
do
good.
so much.
All
Making
right.
you friends.
Okay, so we're here.
Yes.
That's the good thing. The information, how much information do we want to provide before we get the information we want?
Is that
Oh,
a
oh
thing
my
one
God!
can
I
decide
think
at the
we
beginning?
opened up the lore drop. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, this is a good one tonight too. So I'm excited. All right, yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, how much information do we want to share on our behalf before we get information for our investigation?
I mean, enough to not get an article written about us.
Yeah, that was a little uncouth and uncalled for. All right.
Ideally, not information relating to personal origins and circumstances.
Yeah, that.
Okay, let's make a professional agreement. All right, I'm gonna turn back. I don't know why I'm the one leading the charge on
I
this.
love it. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Benny is not a people person.
Yeah, what's the charisma equivalent of 1 brain cell? Whatever it is, the brain cell. Okay, no, we're good. We're back.
Okay, so all right, we need a quick agreement if that's all right. We're gonna share some information with you. We need to make sure our information stays off the record.
Well, I guess that depends on what you have to offer me.
I don't want to spoil anything, but that earthquake, that was a man. All right. How's that for a starter?
The earthquake was a man?
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the city. And
Of course it was. Of course it was. Tell you what,
We've lost her. We've lost her.
why don't you go downstairs to the lobby and make sure no earthquake men are here, and I will go look into this immediately, of course.
okay, I could
Could we have a conversation with you before you patronize us, please?
Yeah, can you? Yeah.
Make a willpower roll, Caden.
Yes,
Ooh,
I'd
dang.
love to.
Wow.
I would put determination in, but you haven't given me enough troubles yet. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
you know what? I'm sorry. I need to be giving you all more troubles. Although you can always give troubles to
That's
yourself.
true.
Remember.
I know, but I'm already so boned. I'm already boned at work. Like, I can't give myself troubles on medical rolls. I'll feel bad.
That's fair.
All right, 6.
Oh, total.
Yeah, I have a 3 and a 3. What do you want from me? I'm not the one charisma brain cell.
She just kind of stares at you. Yes?
Thank you.
Perhaps. And Ulyss is going to turn to Vion, like tap Vion on the shoulder.
Mhm.
If I may.
Yeah.
I have been observing, and I have observed for the past 48 hours now, and there is something that I've understood, and it is that a lot of you do not trust. There is a severe lack of trust amongst all of you. You do not believe the first things that you say, and it hurts some of the wires inside of me, this lack of connection. However, I do believe that there is a way that we can forge and force connections peacefully. May I?
Yeah.
Greetings, new individual. I have already made your acquaintance, but I would like to make your acquaintance again. My name is Ulez Gali. My designation is not for your own ears because we have not forged any trust yet. And if I could take a moment, I would love to show you something that perhaps an individual who can create an earthquake and shake an entire city could also do. Would you like to witness?
Oh, yeah, I would love to see that.
Oh, good. What kind of? We're in an office.
Yeah, you're in the newsroom of the Port Ruby Standard, which is basically our version of the New York Times.
Okay, I've never like. So is there like an empty cubicle?
Let's say she's got no, she's high enough ranking. She's got herself an office that probably
Oh, good.
has a window
Mhm.
that faces out over like a whole bunch of cubicles for lower ranking reporters and stuff. It's probably got some blinds that are, let's say, half open, half closed.
I mean, since you've so graciously described a window, please observe. And Ulez would like to show off their power. They just want to create some wonderful light, but it's so darn destructive.
Make a power roll.
Power?
Boy.
I
Okay.
got good power now, too.
Are you shooting at the window? Is that the idea?
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
I understand there's consequence. Well, B understands the consequences. That is only a 6. That's not so bad.
That's enough to kick the glass.
Everybody gets the day off work. Woo.
I need to start.
She was very passionate, like, you know.
Well, yeah, it is a piece of glass. So
No.
you know what? I'm gonna give you a piece. I'm gonna give you a point of determination for this, because this is like accepting a trouble. This is like giving yourself a trouble.
Putting ourselves in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, you raise your hands and put out a blast of light, and it hits the window, and the window just kind of explodes, and everyone in the newsroom like turns around and looks, and it's silent and tense for a moment, and then Anwit looks over.
Can I close the curtain? Like, there's like a beat, there's like a second, and Benny's gonna just kind of and let it fall and be like,
And Anwit walks to her desk and sits down and picks up a pen. Tell me about the earthquake, man.
All right.
yeah.
There is a gentleman that we encountered who happens to have a group of different aliases that he's going by. According to him, he got hit by something in a truck. And that's a truck, correct me if I'm mistaken, that we're trying to track down. He's able to absorb the powers of other individuals one at a time, I think, if I remember correctly.
Inconclusive.
How many
Inconclusive.
powers are there?
Currently in the mix, we got earthquake. Well, we got sonic powers, light powers, fire powers, ghost powers. There, I feel like he had more. Oh yeah, memory powers. That's a new one. We got
Vampire.
yeah, vampire powers. That's another one. Well, that's not really powers. That's just a vampire.
Make a willpower.
Yeah, persuade me that vampire powers is not a thing. That's just being a vampire, but ghosts get
Okay,
powers.
Right? Thank you.
7.
I'm not exactly sure what to believe at this point.
We're just trying to find some information on this individual who we think has, I guess, for a lack of a better term, nefarious plans.
Yeah.
And we figure that you might be someone to talk to as far as like making connections based on things that we know.
Well, let's put a pin in my questioning of you for a moment. What do you want to know from me?
What do you know about Cluster?
Cluster. Well, how much do you know about organized crime in Port Ruby?
We're aware that Mickey Bomberg is not the best mafioso to work for.
Oh yeah, we know one thing.
And the person in question has association with said mediocre mafioso.
That's two.
We also know that, with respect to Cluster, that other criminals have significant payments in their ledgers that involve acquiring and, I'm told the term is burning through, a lot of money payments.
Well, I mean, it just sounds like you all need some context. I don't even
Hence
know
our visit, yes.
how far to go back here. Say in the 1980s, Port Ruby was still mostly controlled by the four families. It was the Geyer family that ran Avalon, and the Lorio family that ran Baronsdale, and the Hovell family from Riften, and the Dutt family from Mur Island. And well, as the decade went on, a lot of international crime syndicates moved in. Four families went to war. The Dutch were wiped out, and the Geyers took over Mur Island. And in the 1990s, it deteriorated further, and turf wars broke out everywhere. The big families pretty much fell apart. Smaller crews were running everything, smaller pieces of territory. The city increasingly balkanized. And it was right about then that some of those smaller crews and those international syndicates started working together in a consortium that would informally become known as the Cluster. By the end of the decade, the Cluster was tightening its hold over Avalon and Riften. By 2000, the turf wars in Baronsdale had come to an end when one particularly dangerous and clever boss, Mickey Bomberg, took out all of his enemies. At the same time, the Cluster was busy taking over Mur Island, and by the middle of the decade, these positions basically solidified. Mickey Bomberg ran Baronsdale, and the Cluster ran everything else. And that was the status quo, and it was peaceful for a while. Until about 2010, Mickey was getting old, and the Cluster began to test him. And by the middle of the decade, they were involved in kind of a low-key war, and, well, that grew increasingly tense and dangerous, and by the end of the decade, shots were being fired, and, well, at this point, that war is pretty hot, and, well, I would say the Cluster clearly has the upper hand. But this is stuff you could get out of the newspapers. I mean, none of this is secret. I mean, the Cluster's a shadowy organization. I mean, and Mickey Bomberg, well, I mean, everybody knows him, and everybody knows where to find him.
Presuming I am not everybody, where should I find him?
Find Mickey Bomberg?
Yes.
Well, assuming that you're reckless enough to want to do something like that, Mickey, well, he's at his business. 3 County Plumbing and Electric.
It's so funny you say that.
Is it now? Sometimes I don't get jokes. Why?
What? It's not necessarily a joke. It's just funny because we got a lot of that makes a lot of sense.
That's also the next place on our list to go visit. So
We had receipts from that exact location.
Well, have a good time. I would say be careful. And don't forget, the 4 of you owe me one very revealing interview.
I don't recall agreeing to that.
Yeah. Wait,
No.
hold on. Everyone,
Well, I put a pin in my question of you before I told you what I know.
That
And
does not constitute agreement.
Yes, it does.
No.
also,
Thank you for
hey,
your assistance. I hope to
yeah.
assist you at a future time in some other manner that does not involve revealing information.
Yeah, we don't gotta do anything. You give us anything else that we didn't already know. Before we leave, I got one more question, and maybe this is just my healing talking, but I just gotta ask something that's just kind of sitting on my gut, and then we'll go. I promise.
Mhm.
I'm a little bit of an investigator, and sometimes I kind of my subconscious puts one together because I used to be a writer. It's a fun fact, and. Is the mayor involved with Mickey Bomber in any way?
Lindell? No, please. As far as I know, he's the straightest, boringest, most milquetoast politician this city has ever elevated to mayor.
Okay, well, that really addressed one of my hanging concerns. Okay, well, thank you. Yeah, all right, that's good to know.
Why would you even... Does he have something to do with this?
Listen, I've been out of it for the last couple hours because
He's on a lot of pain meds. He's
I'm
just
on-
had surgery yesterday.
a lot of pain meds and I should be resting. And in a way, I am. Am I? I'm not. I should be. The reason I brought it up is just because a lot of destruction happened. And just after that, and everyone follow me here, the mayor said that there's going to be a big rebuild of the city. If I was pulling off something nefarious, I would take that opportunity to, I don't know, use that construction for something. I can't quite figure out what it would be, but on the tip of my tongue, there's just something that feels a little bit off about that. Something about that feels opportunistic.
Well, if you're talking about the mayor's generous corporate partners using this as a chance to plunder this city and reshape it in their desired image, well, yeah, I mean, they're corporations, of course.
And
Who
those
would
corporations got nothing to do with this consortium whatsoever, to your knowledge?
I mean, not that I know of. They have their own corporate agendas, which, in my opinion, can often be as bad or worse than the organized crime people's agendas. So, have fun with that one too.
Okay, if I turn out to be right, though, I want you to apologize to me. Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah, all right, let's go.
I don't think we had breakfast this morning. I think maybe we should.
Enjoy your breakfast. You'll be hearing from me.
I'm gonna give her a stink eye and open the curtains again. Kick some glass on my way out.
We did destroy her window.
Yeah,
And
that's
So
fair.
much glass.
Everybody in the newsroom is just silent and watches the four of you quietly walk through to the elevator, push the button, awkwardly
Goodbye.
stand there waiting.
I'll make
for-
eye contact with anyone who's staring at us. Like,
And and then you make it back downstairs into Bray Square. What next for y'all?
Let's head to
let's talk to a plumber.
let's talk to a plumber.
Okay, so you get back on the subway, and from Bray Square in Midtown Avalon, it takes you probably about a half hour, 40 minutes or so to get back down to Grand Central Circle, where you find the business, the building for 3 County Plumbing and Electric, and it is a 1-story storefront. It's got a sign, established 1952, and it's just got a front door that is, open.
Okay, hold on. Before we go on and do anything, what's the plan? Are we sure we want to do this today?
Is there a better day to talk
maybe.
to mediocre mafiosos?
When maybe Vian is a little more healed up.
Is that after breakfast?
And if this were to maybe go south, I'm worried about him defending himself right now.
I will protect him at all costs, of course.
I can stand by, Vian.
But with respect to our motivations in this endeavor, from what we understood from Curtis Haber, the truck was itself connected to Cluster, hence Mr. Blomberg's desire to obtain it. in some way.
Mhm.
So, given that Mickey wants this truck, we may present ourselves as potential collaborators. No?
That's true.
That sounds
That
exciting.
said, if there is an opportunity, my understanding is that he is an evildoer.
It's fair. And what's our method out should he decide that he doesn't like that we know about this truck and doesn't want our help also?
Caden just mouths destroy evildoers, but it doesn't actually come all of it. They're just kind of floating it if someone picks up.
Run away very quickly.
Yeah, we can do
I'm into that. I'm into that one. Maybe we engage in as few fisticuffs as possible until Theon has use of both of his arms.
Are you trained in fisticuffs? I ask Vion.
Me?
I'm following through the logic of like, we need to wait until he's healed, then he can fisticuffs.
I was a fiction writer.
Yes.
Are you?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Then we don't need to wait on the destruction then.
All right, let's do it.
Except to the extent that this would probably be a disadvantageous engagement, and we should plan for a more tactical one if we do intend on destroying him. This is good reconnaissance.
True.
Recon.
I understand that. We're observing.
We are.
Precisely.
So you head.
Observe. Yeah.
All right, you walk on in, and what you see is it's kind of an old dusty place. It's not really fancy. There's a counter with a cash register and a bunch of old broken electronic equipment kind of piled on it. And there's like you can see that there's a back section that you can only see part of. And there's a radio playing somewhere in the back. It's playing, I don't know, some kind of country music. You can't quite tell what. And it's very soft. And basically that's what you see right now.
Is anyone at the desk?
No one's at the desk right now. There's a bell at it though.
Anyone mind if I hit the bell?
Go for it.
Oh wait, Ulez, have you ever hit a bell before?
I did not know the task we're about to perform.
Oh, it's pretty fun. You just tap that little top part, the little hat, just a little bit.
So like IRL, have you ever hit those incorrectly where it just makes no sound at all?
Yep.
Like if you smack it far too aggressively, where I don't know what happens, or if you're too slow about
You
it.
muted it. Yeah.
If you keep it there, the fact that the bell is against the edge itself institutes dampering, so it doesn't resonate. So you slam it and you keep it there. It doesn't ever vibrate.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the sound.
You got to do a little tap and then lift. Apply just a little bit of pressure.
Okay. Ding.
And the bell rings, and almost immediately from like right behind in the back room, this guy pops out, and he's, I don't know, 60, 65-year-old man wearing blue coveralls with a 3-county logo, on it. And if he was an actor, I would say I would cast him with Billy Crystal.
If I had Googled a picture of Mickey Bomberg as we were walking into this store, would he have the same face?
Yeah, absolutely. If you Googled a picture of him, you recognize Mickey Bomberg popping his head out, and he, can I help you? And he's sort of wiping his hands with a rag, and he throws it to the side.
We're hoping to
Greetings.
collaborate on the matter of a missing truck. Hello.
I'm sorry, missing truck. This is a plumbing and electrical service business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, listen, we can go ahead and skip past this entire little bit, to be quite honest, because I took an arrow for this. So you're searching for a truck. We are offering our services to get it back.
Searching for a truck. I am a master electrician.
Well, this thing
Congratulations.
definitely does project electricity. Oh, yeah, and also congratulations.
Thank you.
Can-
I worked very hard to get my license. Yeah.
Can I just judge? Is this a total facade, or is there a chance that we're missing a piece? Like, if there's something in between, like, can I just see how genuine is he being? Like,
Sure, make a willpower roll. Hang on, let me get his.
I'm a legitimate businessman.
yeah, exactly.
This
What
is
do you
my
expect?
business.
I
Or
mean, I'm
whether
saying he might still be like mafioso, but like, there's a chance. Maybe
No, is
it's
there
not
like
his
secretly the power behind the throat? Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a chance, like there might be a something in the middle that he's associated with this, but isn't actually in charge. I
There's
just
a
want to see
goldfish
how.
and it's secretly the mastermind behind the whole mob.
What'd you get?
So I was trying to see if I had any determination left. I don't, but it's okay.
We have table
God
determination.
damn it!
There is 2 points, I think, of table determination.
I rolled
Let's
so
do
bad
it.
though. I don't know. Do you want me to take it?
Take
Let's
it.
do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I have.
Equality.
Can't turn the camera off. That's my observe. That I'm good at observing things in people. That I'm kind of a wallflower and I like to observe.
Okay, yeah, no, that applies.
Okay, cool. I'll take the 2. I rolled really bad, you guys, but that's okay. So this is gonna be 9. I rolled a 1.
As far as you can tell, you're trying to figure out if
How
if
is
he's-
he being genuine with this? Is this a charade? Charade.
You don't get any vibe like that. You can't
Okay.
either he's not or you can't tell.
I can't tell. Yeah, that's fair.
Listen, I am just a master electrician. If you have some kind of electrical problem, I am happy to help you work it out. Missing truck, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about.
In fact, it is an electrical problem.
Oh?
Electricity emanated from said truck. It seems to have made contact with your colleague, Mr. Hipper.
There's a chance he's also a thorn in your side.
All right. When you say electricity emanated from the truck, Ulez and Benny, you both catch, a little movement in his face that maybe that kind of interested him. Otherwise, my associate? What associate?
Your enforcer.
I don't have enforcers. I have plovers.
Your
Right.
heart rate raising indicates you must have enforcers.
Do you know anyone by the name of Curtis?
Curtis.
Curtis Haber.
Curtis Haber. Oh, I know Curtis from around the neighborhood. I've hired him to drive some trucks for me from time to time.
And did he ever not return one?
I'm sorry. Who are you again?
I will not speak first.
I am going to go into ghost form
Oh,
and walk through
I
the
love
countertop up to this man.
Ghost of Christmas Past.
Sir,
Nicer.
Okay.
I mean, he knows Bill.
That's fair. Yeah.
Either that or Bill has been lying to him the whole time and just seems really fancy at intelligence. One or the other.
You walk through the table straight to Mickey Bomberg, and when he sees you, he looks up and he kind of. So you're one of those extra normal types.
yeah, that's correct.
I've heard about stuff like that on the internet.
Sir, people are getting hurt. Damage is being done. All this around one individual single truck that you're trying to get your hands on?
When I was a little kid in my neighborhood, there were also people getting hurt and damage being done. And I remember asking my father, why doesn't somebody do something about it? And he said, because the people with the power, they don't care. So I resolved that when I grew up, I would be the one who was holding the power. You know, as an electrician, I've spent my life studying power. And let me tell you something, in case you didn't figure it out for yourself. Do you know why you were able to walk in here today?
Because you left the door.
Bipedalism.
Yeah, that.
What'd you
and
say? Sorry, I didn't hear you, Sam. What'd you say?
I said bipedalism.
And you left the door open.
That's right. I left the door open. Everybody knows where I work, and everybody knows where I live. And everybody knows the bars that I drink at. And I leave my door open. And do you know why? Because I'm not afraid. You want to come at me? Come at me. I dare you. That door is open because whatever I do to you, I'll get away with it.
Okay. Mhm.
I'll just say cool, not what we were asking, but nice monologue. What were you gonna say, Bjorn?
Okay, really quick, Rick, before
Yeah.
man, I've been playing loose and goose today.
I'm a literalist, and he literally invited me to try. Please,
Yes, I'm
someone
waiting.
help. I'm about to play a trouble against myself. Please, someone.
I'm not stopping
okay.
you.
Okay. I'm up in this gentleman's face.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Yeah, okay, sorry, what you say?
Am I getting anything extraordinary, to use his words, supernatural off of him, or does he just look like a man?
No, he just looks like a man. Make a willpower roll.
Okay. I got an 8.
He looks like a man.
Oh, wait, no, I'm gonna say 9. I'm investigating, right?
Okay.
Can I throw it on top?
Yeah, you can.
Great.
But I'm going to give you a point of determination. Mickey Bomberg spends a point of determination to activate his quality. I'm the most powerful boss in Baronsdale. And he beats you by a major success. So he gives you an intimidating stare that kind of shakes you to your core. And as he's looking at you, your phone starts to buzz in your pocket.
Mine?
Yep.
Oh. Would you excuse me a second? And I turn and I have to unghost. I'm going to walk past the counter. I'm going to unghost because I can't interact with my phone unless I'm unghosted. I pull my phone out.
And Mickey just calmly watching. And on the other side of the phone, you hear a voice. And that voice, it's a man's voice. And you hear, he says, is this Vion Vigor?
That's correct. Yeah, you're speaking with him.
My name is Harmon Keeler. And I am holding your friend and landlord, Sandy Carpa, as my hostage.
No.
I am willing to trade him for that kooky-looking armor that your friend was wearing yesterday outside of your house and the dead body that your friend took it off of. There is a condemned building at the corner of 188th Street in Aurora in Factory Park. You don't show, your friend dies. You got 2 hours. And on that, we'll see you next week.
But I love Sandy.
Oh.
How do we beat 2 people in 2 hours? No, we have time. We're good.
That was awesome. Oh my God.
Oh man.
And thank you so much, everybody, because we unlocked the lore drop. So real fast, there really are no closing announcements tonight other than, hey, everybody go donate to Georgia. It is important as what just happened. So please do that.
Vote.
Yeah, vote if you're in Georgia. If not, just figure out what you can do and help and help in any way.
You're 17 right now, but you'll be 18 before those elections. You can register to vote still. So do that.
Yep. And otherwise, why don't we go around the table and you can tell the good people where they can find you, starting with B Zelda.
Yes, hello. I have been B Zelda. My pronouns are they, them. You can catch me on Twitter as at B_Zelda. Add an extra underscore if you want to follow me on Instagram for some dog pictures. I'm a podcaster, member of the Broadswords. I am a streamer, although my stream schedule this month is beautiful. I don't really know what it is. So honestly, follow me on Twitter and figure it out with me.
And Omar.
Hey, everybody. I'm Omar. You can find me at Omar Najam on Twitter. I think that's it. I feel like I should have more going on. I'm trying to take it real easy. It's been a lot the last couple of days. So yeah, just on Twitter, and I hope you're doing well.
I think he's on Instagram too, if that helps.
Yeah, Omar Najam Film. It hasn't been updated in a while.
Yeah, there you go. Go look at Omar's old Instagram. Caitlin.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Bruder. You can find me on Twitter at KKAMABR, and with 1K on Twitch. You can catch me on another stream where I play Superpowered Individual on Wednesdays on Rule of Lore's Twitch at 6 p.m. Pacific. And that's all I've got going on.
And Sam Liv.
I am Sam DeLove when I'm not destroying evildoers or following B Zelda on Instagram for canine content, which I've now done. To be perfectly clear, that was the fastest follow of my life. So thank you for that recommendation. But if you want to follow my, albeit slightly less candid content on Twitter, you can find me at Tchaikovsky, ChaiKovsky. I am a role-playing performer and variety streamer throughout the Twitchernet. So if you want to find where I am doing things all of the time, the best place to find that full schedule is on my personal Twitch About page on twitch.tv/Delevely, DELEVELY.
And I'm Rick Bud. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at rbud913, or you can follow the show at Powerplay RPG. And like I said, if you got questions about continuity or the game rules or whatever, feel free to hit me up or post a message in the Discord. And that's it. Otherwise, I will be back here same time next week with these four lovely people. And that's it. Without further ado, the theater goes dark and the after credit sequence begins. It is Port Ruby, 1980. It's night, and we're in a train station parking lot in what looks to be Baronsdale. 5 large, intense-looking men in flak jackets stand over the open trunk of a dark sedan, and a man in a very expensive suit stands just behind them. He points into the truck and he says, "I think this is what we agreed on." And the men in the flak jackets look inside the trunk. It's full of guns, automatics, handguns, everything you could imagine. The men in the flak jackets seem pretty satisfied. And the man in the suit says, "You can just deposit the money in my usual account." And just then, a voice echoes from the rooftops. "They won't be able to." And suddenly, a figure drops down from somewhere above, making a superhero landing on the roof of the car and says, "You'll all be in jail." And the criminals look up and see this person dressed in heavy armor like a SWAT trooper, but with this heavy red cape and a large red hood pulled over their head. And they got like a red cloth, like a bandana tied around the bottom of their face, and these big, thick goggles that kind of obscure their eyes. And one of the men in the flak jackets looks up and goes, "Oh my God, you're the one." And before he can get another word out, the costume figure flips off the car and lands right in the middle of the pack. They reach under their cape and suddenly they have a taser in one hand and a chain in the other. And in a stunning display of coordination and fighting prowess, they stun and bash their way through the 6 criminals in a matter of seconds. They're all lying on the ground in serious pain. The costume figure looks down at them and says, "Yeah, I'm the one." and we'll see you next week. Thanks for playing with us.